Islam, Moors. I am Nasir Al Nur Bey, Aboriginal and Indigenous, Moorish American National. First and foremost, you gotta excuse my attire. I'm working on my house, so I'm kind of dirty a little bit, but you gotta excuse my attire. And I want to say Islam to the Moors. All right, all active Moors, Islam to you, because I know what this takes. All right, it's not just mental change that's needed, but a physical change. All right, and a spiritual change. All right, and we got a little battle against us, but in all actuality, the battle's already won. All right. You just have to be yourself. Islam to the Moors out there on the West Coast, that great Silhouette, we definitely see you out there, and it's very, very much needed. All right, Taj done been out there. He done laid down the seeds. Now it's time to grow and move forward. All right. I'm coming from near the corporate city of Philadelphia. Man, oh man. But Islam to the Moors out the West Coast, the Moors down Texas, quote unquote Texas, North Carolina, the Moors out there and down in the land of flowers, what they call Florida now. Islam to you Moors as well. Uplifting fallen humanity, and that's what this is about. Northwest Restoration Trust, I'm actually the trustee of such. And on this platform, really, this is about progression. All right, this is about progression. This is about change. Because we know things always change. Nothing stays the same. All right, that's nature's law. And if it doesn't stay the same, then you would have to question. All right, or I would employ someone to go, look around you. The seasons change all the time. That's nature's law. All right. But on this platform, like I said, I'm about progression, or when I say we are about progression. All right, as Moors. Where do I want to go next? Really, I don't do this video thing too much. I'm really not accustomed to doing this. However, a lot of Moors was telling me, hey, man, go ahead and do, what you need to do. Put it out there for the people. All right. So here it goes, earlier today, actually, when I got in from working a little bit, I sat down and watched a Taj video. Oh, yeah, Islam the brother Taj as well. Taj Tarik Bey, Sabir Bey, Grand Sheikh, Kujo Otto Ill, again, Rami Salam Ill out there on the West Coast, Islam to you. Again, about this platform, we're about progression here. A lot of people was telling me, hey man, you need to do these classes, man, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I guess, here it is. As far as, what I viewed earlier, when I came in from work, and when I viewed, it was a lot of Moor bashing, all right, and people clinging onto this black identity, all right. Now here in North America, all right, the forms of black and white are nothing but legal statuses. That's it. They're legal statuses. It has nothing to do with your bloodline whatsoever. All right, and Moors got to really understand this. All right, when you first coming into this movement, first and foremost, you should get your family well. All right, starting with you. It don't matter how old you are, don't matter what condition you in or whatever. It starts with you. All right, because you are the heir apparent. All right, but you must operate as such and think as such. All right, because when you mentally change, you spiritually change, and it gives way to physical change. Like, you can actually see the change in an individual. All right, but all this more bashing stuff needs to stop, really, because really they're spitting nothing out but conjecture, no facts, no proof, nothing like that. Dealing with the rules of evidence, Rule 901. All right, no admissible proof at all. All right, when they're coming at Moors. All right, and they like their little Negro kickbacks, whether that be a 501c3. Whether it be a pastor of a church, whether it be with this Black Lives Matter movement thing, which is a bunch of crap. Really a bunch of crap. And really, only thing they're doing is giving these people more time. All right? They don't have any more time. You keep giving it to them, Moors. They don't have any more time. Oh man, I really wanted to read that. I really wanted to read that Trafficant speech. I don't have it on hand right now. I should have printed it out. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have it on me right now, but that Trafficant speech. All right, they exist in name only. Alright? They exist in name only. That means anything physical, alright, that they say that, that they own, that they operate, any agency of such, doesn't exist. It's void. Ab initio, actually. So any documentation that they send to you, any type of summons or appearance or conveyance saying that, oh yeah, you owe us something, you can't ever owe these foreigners anything. They owe you. Alright? Because we are the descendants of the founders of civilization. Let me say it again. We are the descendants of the founders of civilization. So, these roads that you see, these homes that you see, the lights, alright, the light poles, yeah, we set up all that. We did that. The Moors, the Aboriginal and indigenous people of the world did that. Alright, and once you really understand that these Negroes or these Europeans, alright, which they're called now, after we created them, alright, because they're hybrids, they're amalgamated. After we created those beings, alright, you want to look up the term infamous? Infamous? You want to look down at, you want to look at the Cro-Magnon man, alright, because after we created them, their skin was burning, alright, the same thing they do now, they burn in the sun, and they get, what is that, leprosy? What do you think they created suntan lotion for? Not for us, for them. Alright, and years back, what brought me into the movement was, I asked a question. You go to the pastor and all of this stuff, you ask him, I asked a simple question. I said, well, if God made everybody so perfect, alright, then why, this is my sleep stage. I said, then why do white people burn in the sun? Alright, which are now Europeans, of course, but why do white people burn in the sun? And he really couldn't give me no direct answer. And I'm like, something's up. Hold on, man. Something is up. Alright, but, once you really get this down about who you are, you must understand, understand the political and social stratus all right, the political and social change, all right, that is being implemented when you proclaim and declare your nationality. All right. Our prophet said these people are eating or living off your virtues, Moors. All right. So as long as you stay ignorant, all right, not knowing who you are, not knowing where you come from, keep calling yourself a crayon, and suffer from this cognitive dissonance. All right. People say, oh, the Constitution, that's that white man stuff. How? How is that the quote-unquote white man stuff when we civilized them, when we created them? All right? How is that possible? It is not. It's not. Now, these Europeans are eating off of your ignorance. So if you want to keep calling yourself black, you want to keep, having a J-O-B, all right? Go to your Job with these people so they can sit here and tax you to death. The prophet said that too. All right? So they can sit here and tax you to death, and at the same time, you're funding your own enslavement, people. All right? And you want to sit here and be Negro black color, go to your job, you want to keep going out and partying. Oh, it's Friday, we're going to go to the bar. Oh, yeah, we're going to go out to the club. Well, how about this? How about you sit down, take a look, all right, and you can just Google United States infrastructure. You can just Google that and see what you come up with. The United States, I believe it's the United States engineers. And, they give grades to each state, all right. They give grades to each state. And they classify the states, and they have an actual breakdown of, what need to be improved, what's wrong with it, and they get an actual grade from A to F. Same thing with the, elementary school. You get an A in your report card, you get a B in your report card, and all of that. All right. And if you see the United States of America, all right, they don't have any type of funding. Listen. They do not have funding to fix barely anything. All right, so the Moors out there on the West Coast know what I'm talking about. As far as all these floods, here near the corporate city of Philadelphia, we have potholes everywhere. All right, and they're not doing anything but doing patch-up jobs. Like, they're not fixing anything. They're not fixing anything, all right? And this is a reason that, it gives these people more time. Being as though, they have city employees, municipal employees, county employees, borough employees, and all these quasi-national jurisdictions. All right. Now, when we say, the city or the state, you look at the term city, it's a municipal venue. All right. And what's a municipality? It's something that has to do with, England, the church, nothing to do with the American Constitution. All right. They are established anti-Constitution. All right. And, they're not constitutional. All right. When you're walking on the land and you'll say, "Oh yeah, man, I'm in New York, man. I'm in Texas, man. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're on Moroccan soil. All right. The Great Masonic Secret. Yes, you're on Moroccan soil. All right. You are on Moroccan soil. Any of these quasi-national domiciles that people say that they're a part of or they work for or something of that nature, they have nothing to do with the land. All right? The borders that they created are nothing but jurisdictional borders to sell and trade. their jurisdictional borders to sell and trade. So when you look at that map and you'll say, hey, Florida looks like this with the little, the little line coming down. Texas is this big, and Idaho is up here, and it's that. No, what you're seeing is a breakdown of the corporate sale jurisdiction. That's all they're doing. All right, that's what that Amity and Trade Conference, all right, the Amity and Trade banner was about. Commerce, because we, being the descendants of the founders of civilization, were the first nation to recognize the Europeans as a people. All right, so the United States of America, or Morocco, which actually is, seen as a beacon light, all right, for the rest of the civilized world, and say, hey, we have a responsibility and obligation. All right, it's just like, you have a baby and you like, man, I don't even want nothing to do. No, you have a responsibility and obligation. And because we have not been upholding our responsibility and obligation, all right, and our obligation is to enforce that Constitution, all right, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's our obligation. All right. And the reason, that these foreign European aliens have been getting away, all right, or had just been running amok and deviating from the supreme law. You can see that at Article 6. Deviating from the supreme law because the Moors are too busy running around calling ourselves crayons and not operating as a political body politic. These people have been getting away, all right, with murdering, genocide, and copious amounts of misrepresentations, to where as though they don't even have territorial jurisdiction to do what they're doing. They don't have territory. They can't walk on the ground and say, "Oh yeah, I'm walking through Philadelphia, or I'm walking through I'm walking through Texas." You ain't walking through no damn Texas. You walking on my ancestral state, and really, you should be carrying a green card. Really, you should be carrying a green card, and getting checked at set borders up and check these people. All right, we know about that motu proprio. It's dead. It's over. It's over. Like, I don't know. They say that Moors are redundant. All right, but we've got to be redundant, to hammer and chisel this thing in. You're gonna have to reprogram yourself. All right, which means that you're gonna have to delete any other all false information that's up here, because there's no facts to even back it up. You can say things out your mouth, and then when you get questioned on it, I'm black, man. I'm from Africa, and we came over here on slave ship. How? That's no way possible you can come over here in a slave ship. There ain't enough water for everybody. All right. This is the Universal. It's kind of beat up a little bit, but man, I willed this, and I went to I was searching the thrift stores. It's the Webster's Universal Unabridged Dictionary, but it's in 2 volumes. I willed this thing so to the point where it popped up for free. For free. I just went in there. I was like, oh, that's a dictionary. That's unabridged dictionary. Oh, yeah, I was excited. I ain't gonna lie. I was excited. Yeah, I was excited. Because it really showed the power of one's will. All right? And if your sincerity level's there, and you're not in this to get no type of kickback, you're not really in here to sell people back who they are. A lot of Moors got to get checked on that. Anywho, Universal Unabridged Webster's. We're going to go, or I'm going to go rather, to the term American. Alright? Because the Europeans, they're not Americans. They're not Americans. And the only way that they can be Americans, they have to be naturalized under the Moors. That's the only way. Excuse me. These people are not Americans. Let me go to it here. American. And this is page 53. Let me put it up. So everybody think I'm lying to them or whatever. Is that 53? Yeah, that's 53, right? Yeah. We got American. 1. An aboriginal or of the various copper-colored natives found on the American continent by the Europeans. That's really self-explanatory right there. Alright, Europeans. The original application of the name. Oh, so originally, what they're saying, originally, it applied to the various copper-colored natives that were here when Colombo, or Christopher Colombo, came over here with the edict from King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella. All right, which is actually stemming from the Dum Diverses, or yeah, I got it right here. The Dum Diverses, the Bull Intergratina, and there are a few other documents that comprise the doctrine of discovery, which has been rescinded. Understand this. Stop playing these people game, y'all. It's time to step up. Alright, continuing on. An American-born descendant of European settlers. That's number 2. Now, when you say the American-born descendants of European settlers, then that has to, you know, a light bulb has to go off in your head, because it's like, if they are an American-born descendant of European settlers, all right, just because you're born here doesn't make you American. Whatever your bloodline is, that's what you are. And the Europeans are not Americans. All right, so wonder how you thinking, like, born in America? How is that possible? When they just said that, you know, is the Aboriginals are one of the copper colors that was found here. So there's some type of fraud. Do you understand? There's some type of fraud here. Taj really goes in on the you gotta go upstairs. Taj really goes in on the it's of 1854. It slips my mind at the moment. The Naturalization Act, yeah, when they stole, you know, the birthrights from the Moors by calling themselves Americans. All right, and at that point, you know, they ran around the world and continue to do, even though it's getting checked more and more, you know, because they're getting poisoned and everything. But there's some type of fraud or deceit there, because they just said, oh, well, you know, it's an Aboriginal, and all of a sudden they became European Americans. Like, oh, what? All right. And then 3, it says a native-born or naturalized citizen of the United States. So it gave you a kind of a broad definition, and it broke it down, really, timelines. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But now they keep running around the world in the name of you know, the Americans, the true Americans, murdering, killing, pillaging, colonizing, taking people's land, taking people's natural resources. The same thing they did over here after we civilized them and brought them into government. All right, you can look up You can look up the Articles of Confederation of 1643. All right, it tell you right there they were British colonies. All right. So they're going around the world in the name of the Americans, murdering everything, taking everything. All right, and but they're only doing these things because the heirs apparent have not stepped up and taken their places amongst the affairs of men. All right, they have not done it, and that's why they continue to do what they're doing. Because the indigenous people, the Aboriginal and the indigenous people, have not stepped up on the proper platform and exercised, all right, some type of civil order. All right, and I hear a lot about, oh man, yeah, you know, we set up the government over here for the Moors, and we set it up over here, you know, and we done did this, and we got this going on, and where? Where? Because people are out here suffering and dying. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. And emotionally. Alright? So as far as structure-wise, that's what needs to be implemented now. Pressure needs to be put on these Europeans. Alright? Look at who the head is. Donald Trump is president, dude. Come on. Donald Trump is president. I think that gives us an even playing field. Alright? The only thing is Moors have to operate the same way. From East Coast, West Coast, from North to South. We need to operate the same way. Alright? Cabinets need to be established. We need to start running government. That's what needs to go down right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what needs to go down. Alright? Now ain't the time to, you know, sit around, you know, going out the balls and having masks on your face. And no, we need government right now. We need an ordered structure to be enforced. Alright? Because if you look at that term state, the definition of state, it has body politic in there. A juris society. Alright? So, we need to form our own states. Alright? And I don't care if you're in the temple, out the temple, whatever. But we need to form our own states. As the heirs to the largest estate in world history, we need to form our own states. You got to. And we must do these things in a collective, organized manner. Alright? However we want to do it, you know, whatever we, you know, plan on, however, you know, call a convention. A real convention. I'm talking about taking roll to see what states are present. Which public officials are present for the state. You understand? And what ideas do they have, alright, for the implementation of such a juristic society. Alright? These are the things that need to be done. We don't really have an option. Well, you do. Well, you always got an option. But this next option is death. Because they're trying to destroy civilization, which we built. I'm not trying to have no Mad Max world running around here. You get it? Now is the time. We have to. We have to, Moors, or it's over for us. It's over for the world. Because we are the founders of this. We are the founders, the descendants of the founders of civilization. We have the obligation and the duty to operate on this level. So it's time to step our game up, Moors. It's time to step our game up. We can't keep selling each other these packages. We can't go on RV Bay and download everything and then sell it for $200 to people. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to be aware of these so-called of these Moors, all right? That's just in it to get a penny, all right? They'll do a video, you know, and it's like, all right, well, you know, got your fez on, you talking right, yeah, you sound good, man, yeah, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Okay, well, what happened? 6 months go past. Hey, man, what's going on? Oh, I didn't know. What? A year goes past. Oh, man, yeah, we going to do that. And nothing's happening. But we need to get down to the order of business, and that's nationality, and enforcing our Constitution. And the best way to do that is to form a political state. All right? And be measured with this. And be measured with this. And be measured with this. All right? There's going to be oversight, of course, but we need to get these states together, Moors. This is not a joke. This is not a game. If you love your babies, if you love your people, you're going to proclaim and declare your nationality, man. That's what you're going to have to do. And if you feel as though you can step up to the plate, all right, and be a public official, because we know grand sheiks are born and not made. It's going to be in your heart to do this. All right? And everyone running around, oh, the temple this, the temple that. We know they're not operating how they're supposed to be operating. They're not. All right? So, you know, it's kind of like a brick wall. And you keep running into the brick wall talking about, oh, I'm going to go through it today. Boom. And you don't go through it. You know, you keep, you know, back and forth. Oh, man, the temple not doing the temple not. Well, no, would you Ali said this? No, would you Ali? Listen, how about you don't even deal with it no more? How about we move on? Because too much time is being wasted and being squandered away on this back and forth thing. This back and forth stuff. All right? When Noble Jew Ali established that Holy Canaanite Temple in 1913, that was to run government. And set up, you know, different temples as regencies. And when the prophet and when the prophet put out his notice to be read at every meeting, all right, because the Moors back then, all right, went against the prophet and stopped establishing regencies, or they stopped establishing temples. But we need to get this together. The prophet came here, all right. It was a civic organization, and then later adopted Moorish Science Temple of America. All right. When we say adopted, it means that he took a piece of, you know, the religious aspect of it, and implemented it with the civic aspect of it. All right. So with civics, you must enforce the Constitution. He said, I'm bringing my people out of mental slavery and back into the constitutional fold of government. That's what the prophet was doing. He was running government as the Nabi. As the Nabi. And then who came along after that? Bey. And drop a hell of a jewel in a little package. To uplift fallen humanity. But everyone still want to run around, you know, like this isn't the order of the day. If you say nationality is the order of the day, then civics can come right along with it with no problem. Civics should come with it. Meaning there's an ordered structure of how things are implemented and exercised, and how people's rights are upheld by putting people in places, all right, to uphold and enforce the people's rights. You know, and this is not made for everybody. You understand? It's not made for everybody. Everyone's going to play their role. Excuse me for venting, but I just really had to get this out. It's troubling me for a while, because things have to be done. We can't keep going about how we doing things, Moors. We can't. We can't keep going about how we're doing this. Alright? You gotta watch out for the Moors that, it's kind of, leading you. But then it's like, where are they leading you to? Really dig what's going on. And pay attention. People are not who you think they are. They put their feathers on, hold the class, they take their feathers off, put their little beanie on, and they go back to their job. Alright? Or they'll come up with some type of scheme, to create finances. To do what with? That's what to do what with? And I don't care what you want to do, or any type of organization that you want to implement, or any type of group, and try to enforce things. All that stuff needs regulation. It all needs regulation. You just can't be out here willy-nilly doing stuff, Moors. If we say that we're family, and then we all part of the same nation, then we all should be operating the same way. Right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'll be damned if you have me up here sitting like Boo-Boo the Fool. Alright? I'm running out here saying, yeah, I'm a Moor, but then they like, alright, well, where's your representatives? Like, you can't, the world is not operating, with one man being his own island. That ain't happening. Because you're going to get ran over by the gang. Because that's what that democracy is, a gang. So we're going to have to get on that allodial mindset collectively, y'all. Collectively. And this is not anything that's difficult. It might be a little challenge because it's different. It's a change. Go. Alright? But nonetheless, it needs to be done. And it's going to be done. So if you call yourself anybody, and if you call yourself, loving your people, and you willing to be out here on the front lines, I would implore you, inbox me, do something to say, hey, I'm out here and I'm with it. Because this is what needs to be done, Moors. We can't just keep doing what we're doing, man, expecting results. Because you're not going to get any results that you're really looking for. And yes, we get remedy. I got remedy. Doing certain things. However, certain fights, battles won't even pop up. They say, oh yeah, you are more, and you with, oh yeah, go ahead. If you got your plates on your private motor conveyance, then they sit here and go, pull you over or whatever, and it might not even pull you over, really. They see the plates and be like, oh yeah, we know who they are. But this is the organization that's needed. We need this organization, Moors. Now ain't the time to be having, little get-togethers that's not benefiting the nation. They're not benefiting the nation and propelling us to where, we need to be. They're not doing it. All they're doing is putting finances in people's pockets. Alright? Again, people stealing your energy. Because that's what those notes is about. Your energy. To give these people more time. But again, we must move forward, Moors. We must. And it's like, if you are not moving forward, if you're not moving forward and you feel as though you don't want to move forward or you're comfortable, then you're a speed bump on I-95. You're getting ran over. And again, I really don't do this camera thing. I'm about action. That's what I do. I'm about action. I do things. Alright? But I just said my little two-piece or whatever. But again, the importance of this. Link up with Moors that's on the same time you're on. Because everybody's not. And if they're not, leave them alone. That's point blank. It's like, oh yeah, I love my people or whatever, but I don't love you enough. You know, I'm gonna try to come down into the pit and pull you out, and then you pull me right back and you pull me in. Like, no, I'm not doing it. And I'm sorry if people feel emotional about that or what. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So, we need to move on a uniform fashion, Moors. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. I'm going to read, if it's in here. I'm trying to find it, y'all. I'm trying to find it. I'll read. This is coming out of the Administrative Functions book. But I'll read the Prophet's Plea to the Nation. And I want to go in on, and I want to read, just before I sign off, Moors, because this is, I want to read that caveat emptor. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to definitely find it, Moors. Oh, Lord. Go.
No.
It's a tree. Oh, I want to read this caveat emptor, Moors. Here we go. Islam. Here we go. This is coming from a desertion of personal property. On personal property. Get it over here. Mother, Anna E. Ill. But on the back of it, it has caveat emptor. Moors of men. Moors are men upright, independent, and fearless. Moors are men upright, independent, and fearless. So, we shouldn't be running around with this mentality, oh man, they're going to do this, or they're going to do that, they're going to do this. The Prophet said it's a new day and time that all men must proclaim their nationality and worship under their own vine and fig tree, y'all. And fearless who care for their loved ones and follow the Prophet to a destiny which is not uncertain nor unknown. We already know where we're going. They are fortified by the impregnable doctrine built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It is therefore folly at its greatest height for smelly culprits with their insidious plans to invade such realm. They try, but their own bad planning brings them down. Wrath upon their heads like the sword of old Damocles had. Intrigue and scurrilous cunning find a difficult path to travel within the ranks of the Moor. This is because the Moorish movement has been well planned by Prophet Noble Juwali, whose latent powers are abundant, unknown, and may be called into action as a matter of defense at any moment. Prophet Noble Juwali knows the people within his ranks who are interested. They are vanguards of the movement as the Moorish horrors increase here in America. All of the Moors are active and not passive. A member's interest can only be in one direction, having traveled over the road years before. The Prophet knows where every member is along the road. A few feet below is another road, where schemes work, where traitors grin, where culprits bask in the sun. They think they are on the same road with the Moors, but the Moors are high above on a pinnacle where they might view the destructionists as they fall for the last time and their bones bleached in the sultry midday sun. Hungry scavengers flying high, catch scent, devour and leave, crying out, caveat emptor. Cast out the dead carcasses. The Moors high above see these plotters, purveyors, and the worst that exists hurl themselves downwards by their own works as the hawks wait. Islam, Moors. Islam. 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 Yeah, I'm not really listening, but just wanted to get that onto the record. Northwest Restoration Trust. Again, I'm Nasir Bey. Trustee, if you got any questions, comments, want to hit me up about something, whatever, you know, I'm here to help and serve the people. That's what this is about. To help and serve the family. Alright? But I think I'll leave it there. I'll be putting more videos up on my page, my YouTube page, as far as, you know, trust law and what is a trust, what's, you know, how a trust is established, what, you know, trust 101 basically. You know, because my property actually is in the trust. Utilities, you know, as far as the water and gas, you know, we as the indigenous people have a right to that without compensation. All right, because we have the superior interest. All right, but with that, Moors, I'm leave you in peace. All right, and something to think about. But we're about progression. We're about action here. This is that platform. This is what we do. Or this is what I do. All right. But anybody who, you know, friends of mine, or I call them brothers, yeah, this is what we do. But it's time. It's time, Moors, to take your place amongst the affairs of men. You need to step our game up, Moors. We need to step our game up. Because these foreign Europeans have accelerated their actions. And it's like, if we know of, you know, as far as the King Alfred plan and things that they planning on doing, alright, then why aren't we trying to counter these people? Like, what's the issue? What's the issue, really? If we know these things, then let's do something to counter. The same way when Noble Jew Ali, when the Prophet set up that Holy Canaanite Temple in 1913, what they do? They came out with that Federal Reserve Act of 1913 to counter what he did. Alright? Because you look at these notes, you can look at them as you know, they're drugs. And they're really forced upon the people. But, yeah, you can look at them like they're drugs. And people are going crazy, murdering their own family members for these notes. Alright? Running up in stores with guns and, you know, and what have you, and trying to rob people who just trying to eat. Just like you. How about you declare your nationality? You know, put the guns down. Put the drugs down, bro. Because it's not going to lead you nowhere. Except jail, you know, their slave camps, or death. You know, and really they're synonymous. Because they don't feed you in there. You barely get to take a bath. You know, but anywho, I just spilled my guts out, Moors. Again, we're about action on this platform, so let's get it done. Alright? Peace. The Moors, the Aboriginal and Indigenous people of the world, did that. Alright? And once you really understand that these Negroes or these Europeans, alright, which they're called now, after we created them, alright, because they're hybrids, they're amalgamated. After we created those beings. All right. You want to look up the term infamous? Infamous. You want to look down at. You want to look at the Cro-Magnon man. All right. Because after we created them, you know, their skin was burning. All right. The same thing they do now. They burn in the sun, and they get what is that? Leprosy. What do you think they created suntan lotion for? Not for us, for them. All right. And you know, years back, what brought me into the movement was I asked a question. You know, you go to the pastor and all of this stuff. You ask him, you know, I asked a simple question. I said, well, if God made everybody so perfect, all right, then why, you know, this is my sleep stage. I said, then why do white people burn in the sun? All right, which are now Europeans, of course, but why do white people burn in the sun? And he really couldn't give me no direct answer. You know, and I'm like, something's up. Hold on, man. Something is up. All right. But, you know, once you really get this down about who you are, a bunch of crap. Really a bunch of crap. And really, only thing they're doing is giving these people more time. All right. They don't have any more time. You keep giving it to them, Moors. They don't have any more time. Oh man, I wanted to I really wanted to read that I really wanted to read at that Trafficant speech. I don't have it on hand right now. I should have printed it out. Let me see for a second. Yeah, I don't have it on me right now, but that Trafficant speech, all right, they exist in name only. All right, they exist in name only. That means anything physical, all right, that they say that, you know, that they own, that they operate, any agency of such, doesn't exist. It's void. Ab initio, actually. So any documentation that they send to you, any type of summons or appearance or conveyance saying that, oh yeah, you owe us something, you can't ever owe these foreigners anything. They owe you. All right? Because we are the descendants of the founders of civilization. Let me say it again. We are the descendants of the founders of civilization. So these roads that you see, these homes that you see, the lights, all right, the light poles, yeah, we set up all that. We did that. Islam, Moors. I am Nasir Al Nur Bey, Aboriginal and Indigenous, Moorish American National. First and foremost, you got to excuse my attire. I'm working on my house, so you know I'm kind of dirty a little bit. But you got to excuse my attire. And I want to say Islam to the Moors. All right, all active Moors. Islam to you, because I know what this takes. All right. It's not just mental change that's needed, but a physical change. All right, and a spiritual change. All right, and we got a little battle against us, but in all actuality, the battle's already won. All right, you just have to be yourself. Islam to the Moors out there on the West Coast, that great Silwest, we definitely see you out there, and it's very, very much needed. All right, Taj done been out there, he done laid down the seeds, now it's time to grow and move forward. All right, I'm coming from near the corporate city of Philadelphia. Man, oh man. But Islam to the Moors out the West Coast, the Moors down Texas, quote unquote Texas, North Carolina, the Moors out there and down in the land of flowers, what they call Florida now. Islam to you Moors as well. Uplifting fallen humanity. And that's what this is about. Northwest Restoration Trust. I'm actually the trustee of such. And on this platform, really, this is about progression. All right? This is about progression. This is about change. Because we know things always change. Nothing stays the same. All right? That's nature's law. And if it doesn't stay the same, then you would have to question, all right? Or I would employ someone to go, look around you. The seasons change all the time. That's nature's law. All right? But on this platform, like I said, I'm about progression. Or when I say we are about progression, all right, as Moors. Where do I want to go next? Really, I don't do this video thing too much. No, I'm really not accustomed to doing this. However, a lot of Moors was telling me, hey, man, go ahead and do, what you need to do. Put it out there for the people. All right? So, here it goes, earlier today, actually when I got in from working a little bit, I sat down and watched a Taj video. Oh yeah, Islam the brother Taj as well. Taj Tarik Bey, Sabir Bey, Grand Sheikh Kujo Otto Ill. Again, Rami Salam Ill out there on the West Coast. Islam to you. Again, about this platform, we're about progression here. A lot of people was telling me, hey man, you need to do these classes, man. You need to do this, you need to do that. So I guess, here it is. As far as what I viewed earlier, when I came in from work, and when I viewed, it was a lot of Moor bashing, all right, and people clinging onto this black identity, all right. Now here in North America, all right, the forms of black and white are nothing but, legal statuses. That's it. They're legal statuses. It has nothing to do with your bloodline whatsoever. All right? And Moors got to really understand this. All right? When you first coming into this movement, first and foremost, you should get your family well. All right? Starting with you. It don't matter how old you are. It don't matter what condition you in or whatever. It starts with you. All right? Because you are the heir apparent. All right? But you must operate as such and think as such. All right? Because when you mentally change, you spiritually change, and it gives way to physical change. Like you can actually see the change in an individual. All right? But all this Moor bashing stuff needs to stop, really. Because really they're spitting nothing out but conjecture. No facts, no proof, nothing like that. Dealing with the rules of evidence, Rule 901, all right? No admissible proof at all. All right, when they're coming at Moors. All right? And, they like their little, Negro kickbacks. Whether that be a 501c3, whether it be a pastor of a church, whether it be with this Black Lives Matter movement thing, which is a bunch